What is up, guys? I'm here hitting you up with a new video, and I am back with a new Battlefield of Time guide. But guys, before we start talking about Battlefield of Time, quick thing in eigener Sache. If you want to support me, make sure to follow me in the partner creator program. I have a shit ton of codes available for you guys, a lot of gems and mana power extract and everything you get there. Basically, make sure to support me there. And hey, if you're new to this channel, subscribe. I basically upload every other day. And guys, we are super close on hitting 3,000 subscribers on this channel, so please guys, smash that subscriber button with notifications on. Let's jump into the video. Oh, I almost forgot to mention it. We're still looking for new and active players in my guild. If you're interested in joining my guild, level up. Link for the Discord is in the description down below. Join there, do all the steps. There's a guild application where you can just apply for the guild. One of my vice captains will DM you and do the further steps. Now let's talk about the build in general for this Battlefield of Time. Guys, I'm telling you, quick thing, basically what I need to say before we jump right into it. With this strat, depending on if you have that QTE skill gold or purple, you can get somewhere between 35 to 40 seconds time. This run is extremely RNG heavy. Literally everything you do is heavy RNG dependent because you don't have any crit, and you rely on basic crit rate in this run and mode, this time with Tusk. And it's so damn annoying. I'm not even trying to improve my time right now, as you see in the bottom, 40 to 9, but basically with the strat you can get 40 seconds. This is what I got here. And I was sitting there for a couple of hours and I'm like, yeah, no, unless someone is beating my time, I'm not gonna try to improve on that, even though it's possible. But it's so RNG heavy. It's so RNG heavy. It's just simply annoying. Okay, but nonetheless, for the build, Grimoire and Baron Daggers for Jinwoo. Then we have as support Min, Fisher, and his name, which I forgot what was his name again, Kim Sang-shik. Kim, he is there for the break. He's the strongest kind of windbreaker we have. Also, I'm not surprised Godo will probably gonna be a windbreaker. And for support we have Beru as a leader of Igris and Serbi as per usual. And for the build itself, Jinwoo, Warmonger, Obsidian. Then we have Min with Palace Sylph. We have full blessing set on Fisher and a breaker Sylph set on, or solid analysis set on Kim. For the skills itself, we are running gold whack and wave. We are running gold sequent explosion, the water skill, purple collapse skill, which is a thunderstorm, which does a lot of damage, which helps here. And we are running squall, which increases the break effectiveness in this run. Now for the blessings, we're gonna use Intuit, we're gonna use weakness detection, we're gonna use pulverize and reawakening. It's the stuff that they changed how Battlefield of Time works now. Now if you bring any sort of weapons which are resistant to the boss, you will get a debuff. So we cannot bring plum, so you have to bring the elements which are beneficial in that dungeon. And they also made a lot of the stuff a lot tankier, which is quite annoying. But guys, we have to get through this, so that's for that. Oh yeah, almost forgot, for the cores itself, we want to have an ice core for Jinwoo, ice mind core, and we want to have that purple spirit core. And that's all you need to know about the guild. Let's jump into the breakdown. So once we start this here off, once you join in here, you want to cast Kim Sang-shik first, because this one gives you an elemental weakness damage buff with the Sylph effect, and this way you get actually 3 stacks of the Sylph effect instead of just 2 stacks. If you're strong enough, if you have the gold QTE thunderstorm skill, you don't necessarily need to cast him here. You can also just not cast him, and then we will cast Fisher later. If you don't, you can use that just to get that extra damage off. Once we did that, you want to dash like right to the end of this corridor. This is very RNG dependent on where these minions spawn. Like, this looks good if they are standing around this like a little square, that this is okay. But this guy sometimes like to stand right here at the very end of the corner. If you see him standing right here, you can just simply restart, because you're not gonna hit him at all. No chance, just restart. If they are close together, you can give it a try. Now once you're around this area right here, you want to cast Fisher for the buff, and then you want to use your whack and wave. Whack and wave will draw them all together and will almost kill them or kill them all together. And then you will follow up with your sequent explosion to the other side. And if you do it correctly, now the boss will spawn. In my case, I was already so annoyed at this stage. I was like, nah, my time is good enough. I just keep spamming this one guy and then continue, because also I just like to practice in the boss stage. But here I was like, okay, 9 seconds is more than good enough. I can live with that. Also, you need to actually waste a little bit of time, because it's to basically set up the boss stage correctly. The ideal way is you have like 15 seconds around this. This one I show you is 19 seconds. Now those boss spawns, you want to spam the Grimoire, so you freeze him and you land the defense, the debuff. You want to dash out of it, and then you want to follow up with your Baron daggers. The skill, you want to use it twice, obviously. And if you are actually critting, he's almost about to die from these attacks, and then you will just keep basic attack spamming, because this also helps you to recover your mana. Now for this stage we have a time of 18.5 seconds. Not too bad, could be a lot better. There's at least 3-second time saver potential just for that, letting you know in advance. Now once we get to Tusk is just a crit RNG fest, and it also just to get there, because of the RNG, takes you quite some time, and here you just need to crit everything. If you don't crit anything, it's GG basically. But yeah, once we are here, you want to cast your Shadow Army first, which triggers your Shadow Step as per usual, standard procedure. Now we want to Shadow Step. Once we Shadow Step, depending on your mana pool you have right now, if you're full on mana, you don't need to do anything. But let's say your mana is not full and you obviously want to make use of your Obsidian set, keep spamming your basic attack, and you want to cast your Min. But make sure to not accidentally trigger the wrong QTE skill. The Collapse one, you want to have the Death one active, which is in that case the Squall effect. Now once you use Min, you're gonna use Squall just to land the debuff, which increases your break effectiveness overall. And then when available, you want to use Vacuum Wave for the break. Now this should break him by half. And the last part which you need for the breaking of him, you want to use Kim Sang-shik. Now what we're going to do is you spam your basic attack till your Grimoire is ready. Once your Grimoire is ready to use, you want to use your Grim. And after you started casting Grim, you're now triggering Kim, because he will be breaking the boss. Now, once you land the debuff already and it looks like this, you see like there's only like 2 little bars left with the break bar. This is where you wanna, while you are in the animation of the Grimoire, you wanna trigger now Collapse, the Thunderstorm, mid animation. Now you use that skill, you see, and while you see the animation, the boss is broken. And Tusk, he has only a very short time period where he is in the break state, and then he has like these annoying invincibility frames and stuff like that. Now, if everything works fine around that and you get these 2 hits out, you see the Tusk is around 70 bars, left. Now you want to cast Fissure as well. Make sure to cast Fissure to buff your Sequence Explosion. Now you want to use Sequence Explosion. If you're lucky, you're getting 2 crits off. Usually with Sequence Explosion, it takes roughly 3 to 5 business days to get a crit off. Just letting you know, there's a lot of trigger warning in advance, which will piss you off. It will take you at least 2 to 3 hours to get this. If you're super lucky and get it within 28 minutes, good for you, but that's not the general case. Now, once you did that, you will follow up with your Baron daggers, 1 hit, and then the second hit. Now, if you have the golden QTE skill, the Winter Thunderstorm one, the first hit is already enough to kill. But since we do not have that yet, we need that second hit, which also needs a little bit of time. And here, this is how we finish the run in its entirety. And here, just to recap real quick, now phase 1 we can finish in 7 seconds, and then as I said, phase 2 roughly 15 seconds, so this saves you roughly 3 to 3.5 seconds. And the last part is if you have that QT skill on gold as well, which will save you a little bit even more time, so you can even get it down to 35 seconds. But as I said earlier, way too much RNG for me. I just don't need it right now. Maybe I will do it later, maybe not, but you know how the drill is, guys. And yeah, if you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to leave a like and a comment down below. I really appreciate it, and see you with the next one. Deuces. reach. Fuck off. Kein Bock mehr. So, das ist der Run.